Okay, are we live? Are we live? We live. Okay, looks like we are live. Maybe live, possibly live. And it looks like we are live. Live from Arlington, Vermont. And my name is Mr. Katie, and these are hobbies that make me happy. And my original plan today was to see about how to get try something else besides Zoom, but then unfortunately what had happened is that I was getting ready for what I was planning on doing, and apparently all of a sudden next thing I know, I'm looking at it, it's 2:35 p.m. I'm like, oops. So sorry about that. So this is going to be a little bit shorter than possibly a little bit shorter than normal because of I tried to see Anthony Dodge's The Train Outsider, which comes right after me, and he usually pops in. But since I was late, he might not have gotten a notification, but that's okay. So we will change cameras to get back to the tank car that I'm doing. All right. Let's switch over. All right. Now we are on the right camera. Now, one thing I wound up doing, one things I wound up doing before sort of offline was to put on the next instruction, which is putting on untying all the thread and then all setting it up so it could fit onto the wrapper for the tank car. And what I might do here, maybe trim some of this off, hopefully not too close. But that. That. Now, I never did one of these cards before, so I do not know how to let's get these out of the way so they don't get damaged. Or at least put one up. At least they're not perforated. That would have been nice, but I guess not. So one of the interesting things that are set up for this is the instructions say put the scribe in water, let it sink in for 2 of it so it's manual and starts to curl. Well, I'm not going to put it directly into water, but I do have a water bottle. So we will soak this. As you can see, it's starting to curl right now. One of those things I don't know if I should have done the back, but back is done. And so as this, I think what happens, being wood, it winds up curling. Well, hello, John and James. Thank you for coming. Hey, any amount of time is anything good, James. The roofer's working on the house. A good working roof is very important, especially when it starts raining out. But right now I'm just letting this soak in and curl. And apparently it naturally curls. Not sure why. I would assume it would have curled the other way, but it's curling the correct direction. Not quite. Well, it could also have been a possibility that I sprayed the outside first, which caused it to curl that way. Starts to curl. It says wrap the tool around, ensuring that the ends come together. Let's see how this is going to work. New vents to be installed. Well, that's also making sure that you have a ventilated attic is a good thing. I'm not sure exactly what the reason is why it has to be ventilated, but I know I think it's to keep moisture out. I could be wrong. Now, the interesting thing about this tank car is that this becomes the bottom of the tank car, so it's not seen from above. All right. Wrap the scribe around the towel, ensuring, I think it's the scribed wood. It's over here, out of the water. Add glue to the outside of the dowel. Woo! Excuse me. Dry and range. Oh, that makes perfect sense. All right. Yeah, I do. I would have to say we recently got our first snow of the year a couple of days ago. I don't know. It seems that trim if necessary. Do I need to trim this? I don't think I need to trim it, but it is sort of like suggesting that to keep it round and all right. I'm not. These instructions seemed a little odd. Okay, that particular all right. Yeah, the picture's in the wrong spot. But that's okay. Oh, there, Wigwag. Ooh, John almost had a foot of snow. Wow. Well, hello there, rail artist. Yeah, I remember, I forgot who told me this, but they said never complain about the weather. If it wasn't for the weather, half the people wouldn't know how to start a conversation. Okay, we'll go that way. And we'll swing over here. I guess that's how We're keeping things taut. At the time it comes up this. At some point, you want to drop the glue on each rod. All right, I'm not quite. Sounds a little out of order, in my opinion. We want this direction. Oh, there, Anthony Dodds. Yes, I unfortunately got slightly distracted and did not get on time. I thought I had the correct time and all that, but nuts. All right, that I pulled a little bit too hard, I guess. But we'll see about putting this in the back, or actually we'll add another loop for the knot. Yeah, my original plan was to either use OBS or StreamYard for this particular one, but I did not realize that I overslept a bunch. I guess the original plan was for me to actually, me and my coworkers sort of like switching off Fridays, and this would have been my Friday, but there was a half hour's worth of work that required the forklift, and I am currently not authorized to run on said forklift. So the decision was made that I would not come in today. I know there a lot of my coworkers is like, "Oh, you're getting overtime." It's like, okay. So get light and there we go. Hopefully that winds up staying better. But it also says, when you're doing this, adding glue. The reason why I'm not adding glue right now is I'm going to let this dry a little bit in this rounded configuration. But I am looking into trying out either OBS or StreamYard, just to see which other system I like. I mean, I'm comfortable with Zoom, but it's nice to be able to have options in case there has been at least twice that Zoom decided how did I get the second section podcast stickers? Well, they turned around and they on one of their podcasts turned around and said, "Hey, if you are interested, send them an email," and that's how I got them. Unlike the Humanity Junction stickers, I actually got them at Amherst earlier this year. He was doing his thing and just turned around and showed up, and he gave me a pin and a sticker. But I did get a, let me thread that in. And then because they did, there was a small little letter that went with it. I do not know if they have any more stickers. something that you gotta contact them for to find out. Let me put this down. Now, the interesting thing is, it looks like, I don't know how many they got, but that's a handwritten letter. So it's one of those things of, you know, I'm not sure. I'm not. I mean, if all their supporters wound up giving a, uh, uh, you know, asking for stickers and all that, I don't know how many there were, but for saving picture, for obviously for saving uh, uh, paper and all that, they cut it in half and did just a small one that way. But that's sort of, it was sort of kind of interesting in that way. Oh, hello there, train freak, Jason. Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, there was supposed to be, James was doing something similar, but it was a I think a business card, which I think I wrote to him, but I could, by the time I wrote to James, I forgot what the thing was. I just basically said hi, and so I think I was supposed to send him my address, and I completely forgot about that. All right, let's go this way. I'm not quite sure if it was like a business card or something. Actually, come to think of it, I don't even think it was something from James. It was, all right, this popped the same way. Now this one I actually had to make this hole because the hole was not there. So I turned around and made it. Ooh, somebody bought a new snow blower. Okay. All right. Well, I guess you missed my explanation, Wigwag, that basically one of their podcasts, they said that, hey, if, you know, we're having stickers now, and if you wanted them to you know, email them and say, hey, I want some stickers. And when that after that happened, they sent me the stickers, and along with this very nice letter that's handwritten. You can tell because you tell it's handwritten because not everything is a lot of fonts. Everything is you know, every U and every U is the same, and or every letter is the same for everything. But as you can see, the E's they're similar, but they're not exact. Now I'm not sure who actually wrote this up because it says Andy and Mike, so it could be either or. But I would say, you know, if you have their if you had the second section podcast email, or able to find it, I think it's on their YouTube channel. You can turn around and you know, say, hey, do you have any more left? I don't know if they have run out or not. See, that didn't go exactly where I wanted it. That way. All right, that might be big enough. Oh, hello there, Curly. Thank you for coming. And from what I could see, I think I'm starting getting a small crew of regulars, which I think I had something very similar to when I was doing Thursday nights. Then I did something silly and moved times and etc., which I'm thinking about doing again. It was one of those things that it looked like a good thing at the time, but I don't know. But these are a little tricky to do. Let's square it off. Let's see if that works. This one's a much smaller hole. Plus, it's also not laser cut. So it's a as you see, the other ones are much darker because they were laser cut. Actually, now that I think about it, this last one doesn't necessarily need to be through the hole, because the other three are enough to keep everything nice and wrapped. And then I can add the third one separately. Oh, and they are on there permanently. All right. That explains why it talks about turnbuckles. All right. So we'll straighten these out. All nice and straight. And this is starting to dry out, which is sort of kind of what I'm aiming for. What am I doing? Right now I am doing the Congoino models, 20-foot wooden tank car. I remember correctly, they were I want to say 35 a piece. I got two of them. Right now, this is one that's unopened at this point in time, but I have gotten to the point where I've gotten the flat car portion of it already done. This seems to be the slightly more challenging because we're taking a flat piece of wood and curling it so it forms the tank. All right, now that this is starting to dry to a point where, let's say we add glue. This is obviously going to get messy because of, well, it's glue. And disadvantage I've found with these PVA style glues is that they have a tendency to clog. All right, that should be unclogged. But it is sort of kind of nice and interesting that the string winds up also being part of not only as a holding jig, holding the jig, and that's not still coming out, still not coming out. What's going on here? But it also is part of the finishing detail. There we go. Now I got air coming through, so there should be glue coming through. Yeah, it's one of the things of I actually met Chris from Congarina Models while I was helping out with New Tracks. He's he has a small little thing that he puts on once a month is called My Build. And it's basically, you know, having people come on and saying, hey, this is what I built. I've had it, I've had my trestles and bridges on that. All right. Another one popped up. That one's going to be hard to do because that's in the center. All right. Now to find. All right. Where did I put the little itty bitty super glues? There we are. Here's the itty bitty super glues. I like these style of super glues because if it winds up drying up and all that, well, it's only that much. It's not like the larger ones. It's like if that winds up getting getting glued in hard and all that, you wind up losing a large bottle instead of a small tube. That's just how I like it. All right, let's straighten this out. I'll get as straight as possible. And the interesting thing is that super glue also does. Okay, why is that not going? Speaking of losing a bottle, I think that one has been lost. All right. Well, that one, good thing is that it's working. Bad news is I just got it on my hand. So gotta be very careful not to glue my fingers together. So got that. Actually feel the heat from the glue. There. Straighten that out. That looks like it's relatively straight. Straight there. Another dab. So put a dab in the center. Now, sort of a cheating way of doing it, I guess, is to put, all right. All right, for the next one, I'm going to super glue the knots in, and then go from that way. So then they won't have the tendency to pop out. Okay. Put that there. And also, since it's on the bottom, any paint that doesn't work properly, you won't be able to see because it's underneath. Up there. Let that dry for a second. Maybe a drop more. And while that is drying, we'll take a look at the chat. Tangent models. All right. Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, Chris also has a 35-foot one also, or at least he has it with the flat cars, box cars. He also has, basically he takes the basic version of whatever size this is, takes the flat car and turns around and decides to make a variation of it. You can get them with or without trucks. Initially, I got them with trucks and all that to get to work my small layout, which is right now standard gauge. But when I decided to go broad gauge, I'm not quite sure what I'll be doing then. But I think probably a smart idea, even though I got wood glue on the inside, will add a dab of super glue on the inside, both ends. Now to slowly wait with the super glue to dry on the hand. Let's see what happens if this water is sort of kind of an accelerant for it. Let's see what happens now. Back to reading instructions. Now it looks like onto the supports. All right. Different styles supports. Symbol ends and center support as shown below. Do this step twice. Okay. So that this one actually has the brake stand on it. That's a scrap piece. So we go there. And they're also talking about these supports. Which makes sense because, well, as you can see, that there's 4 piece. So that's why it says do it twice. All right. Looks like it's not going to break off, so we have to cut everything out. And doing that has sort of dried up all the liquidness, so there's a good chance I won't stick my fingers now together. Oh, that broke. Or not broke, the tab broke. Let's go this direction. Okay, the laser didn't quite go all the way through. That explains why it's not really cutting through. All right. One thing I've noticed lately, I'm not quite sure if it's just on my end, but from my understanding, you have to have 1,000 subscribers and a certain amount of watch time to be monetized. But I have come across some YouTube channels that have ads on them, but they have maybe 100 subscribers. So I don't know if it's a slight glitch, or that YouTube has decided, oh, we're going to put ads on your videos anyway, but we're not going to give you any money. So I do not know how true that is. I would not, the way Google is now, I would not put it past them saying that, oh, we're going to make money off you anyway, but you're going to get nothing. I mean, that's why I think when they started going to video ads, they I'm not quite sure what happened, but it seems that people who were making they were making money on I guess the ads that would pop, the small little ads that would pop on the bottom of the screen. But I think when they went to video ads, there was something along the lines that all of a sudden a lot of large YouTubers were no longer, they would get all these views and basically get say that we get 100,000. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I got the impression they would get all these views, but YouTube would only give them, cents on half cent, per viewer or something like that, which it seems that you turn around and people are trying to make money doing YouTube, and YouTube is doing their best to maximize profit for the shareholders that are instead of the people that are creating the content that people are looking at. That almost get everything separated. This separated. There we go. All right, so now we have everything separated. All right, support ends. Supports. Wow, let's look at that. Oh, it looks like let's see, inside. So let's see. I think if I'm reading this correctly, all right, I got one top and bottom. All right. Then we have all right. So it looks like we did that. And that. Okay. That's on the inside because it's for the. All right. Now. There, that makes sense now. So, well, hello there, Digger. Thank you for coming in. All right, Anthony, thank you for coming and all that. There's a good chance I'll pop over your stream. Because as far as I know, I'm not really doing anything today. Let's see. What can we do to make this easier? I know with the flat cars and box cars, Chris had it so that part is not dried yet. Didn't realize that there was a small spot on that finger. All right. Well, it looks like it might wind up slowing things down a bit as it is towards the end. And of course, I don't have my I had a small little analog clock in the corner I can keep track of time, and of course I moved it, or more accurately, it took out the battery. So wow, that off. So yeah, I might turn around and do some of this offline or off camera. But all right, well, it looks like that's all solid now. That's going to be interesting trying to get rid of, but oh well. This little part there would be easy to get rid of next trimming. But this, I don't know how that's going to come off. So, all right, let's switch back cameras. Hey, your wife is a little, I would assume your wife, Rail Artist, is a little bit more important than I am. And also, I would assume also cuter than me. But that's just my assumption. All right, got that. Sorry for the jiggleness because I'm switching from this camera. Well, the jiggling is actually, me putting the backdrop up. The camera is actually hanging off the bar from that was, so that's why it has a tendency to bounce when I'm doing it, because I flip this up so I can do the things on the bench that direction. It's one of those things of I haven't found an elegance uh, yeah, it's one of those things of I have not I it was basically this was originally set up to help out with new tracks modeling, hence that's why it is set up this way and all that. So I haven't found a good way to transition into a better setup for having it on the workbench and then also being able to still do the, I guess what they call the headshot. But it is one of those things of eventually I'll eventually have to figure out something. What that is, don't know yet. But I am in the process of also playing around with the idea of trying something else besides Zoom. All right, John, thank you for coming. I'm going to be closing this off soon because I'm wondering what Mr. Dodge is up to. So for everyone who has, got this long and all that, thank you very much. I've got 3 likes, so thank you. And yeah, it's one of those things if I haven't figured out a smooth transition to ending this. But thanks everyone for coming. If you like this, give it a like. Slowly share it with everyone and all that and all. I know it's getting harder and harder to. It's like, oh well, join this one, join, subscribe there, subscribe there. Thank you for the 73 subscribers I do have. Thank you very much. But I also know that it's not. It's getting harder and harder to subscribe to everybody. But originally I wanted to take it big and get not necessarily as large as Luke Townsend or Kathy Millett, but I was unemployed at the time. But now I'm unemployed, so I'm not really. It's I think right now it's more therapeutic for me, selfishly, because it gets me to well, not only it sort of forces me to do something at home. And when you move to a new state just before a pandemic, it's hard to actually meet people, like your neighbors and all that fun stuff. Plus, it's also a very small. Arlington, Vermont's a very, very small town, which is nice in some cases and not so nice in others. I mean, it's one of those things of it's very hard to, especially with all the social things that were had to close. They haven't really picked up yet. So we're still not quite in lockdown. I mean, I don't really see many people wearing masks anymore. But thanks everyone for coming, and especially the ones that have gotten to the end of this video. So please like, subscribe, do all the YouTube things. And I also think that the world needs more passion, or needs more love. So find your passion, add some silliness to it, and spread it around. And